Hi there and welcome to Gaining Vision. I'm Melanie. Have you had an opportunity to subscribe to the channel yet? If not, take a second, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to like and share. Has anyone ever told you you couldn't do something? What is your instant reaction? Watch me, right? As children, when our parents told us we couldn't do something, we wanted to do it even more, and we probably would go out of our way to do it. People tell us we can't do things for different reasons, whether it's for our own good, for safety, or because they don't have belief in us. But human nature says that we're always going to prove them wrong. And I thought I'd talk a little bit about this today because I've been told several times I couldn't do something in my life, and of course, I always fight back and I do it, just prove them wrong. But let's look at it as from a child. Parents tell us we can't do something for our own good. Whether it's don't touch the stove because it's hot, they know they're trying to protect us. Perhaps they're saying we can't go to a friend's house for sleepover on a weeknight because we have to go to school. They know that we need our rest before we go to school. Those things make sense. But as you get older and you're told you couldn't do something by a teacher or a friend or by your parents, you start to question it. You start to think, why are they telling me I can't do something? And unfortunately, it can make the person doubt themselves or it can make them want to fight back. So I look at when I was told by the doctors, you're never going to walk again. You're never going to see again. Of course, I wanted to prove them wrong, but they had to be wrong. Now, of course, I can't control medical world, so the seeing thing didn't always come back. But the walking thing, I was going to definitely prove them wrong. I was in a wheelchair for a while, and then with canes and step by step, and I pushed myself and fought and fought and fought to get back to walking because I wanted to prove them wrong. If anything, they ignited a fire in me to prove them wrong. I've been told that I can't go places because of my disability. I've been told a lot of things I couldn't do, even at teachers' college being told I wouldn't graduate because of my disability. And people say things like this because maybe they're ignorant and they don't know any better. Other people believe it to be true. But the reality is we have to know what we can and can't do. And sometimes, unfortunately, we limit our own expectations of ourselves, right? So let's look at this logically. Somebody tells you can't do something, and you know it's not for your safety. You know that you can do it. Naturally, you're going to try. If you fail, that's okay, but you're going to try. If somebody tells you that you can't run a marathon, maybe they're saying it because they can't believe you could do it, or maybe they know deep down that you haven't trained well enough to do it. So you want to be realistic when you hear these comments of you can't do something. Break it down, look at it closely. Is it real what they're saying? And look at their intent. Why are they saying it? 9 times out of 10, people don't want to be hurtful and they don't want to make you upset, but maybe they're just being real to what they believe. So I know my professors weren't trying to be mean, but they really truly didn't feel that I would be able to finish teachers college. They had never had somebody blind in their classes before. They had never seen a blind person teach before. All of these things were their reality. So they were trying to protect me from feeling a sense of failure. But in fact, I just got more excited to show them they were wrong. I remember on graduation day, walking around the reception after, and the same professor who told me came up to me and said, "Oh my goodness, congratulations, you did great." I said, "I told you I would." And she didn't know what to say. I didn't necessarily do it to prove her wrong, although it was definitely fuel under the fire. I did it because I believed in myself. And that's the most important thing. We have to have belief in ourselves. We have to know what we're capable of. When people tell you you can't do something, what is your reaction? I remember teachers telling me for a long time I was never going to do well in math and science. And the reality is, they were right. Those were not my strengths. But they weren't telling me it to be bad or mean or negative. They were just trying to point me in a different direction of my learning. Melanie, you're never going to be a scientist. You're never going to be a mathematician. The reality was, I sucked at science and math. But they said, but you're really good at art and English. Perhaps you want to consider that. So sometimes teachers and parents have a hard job of finding about the way to direct us. But I encourage teachers and parents to do it in a way that's not so negative. Never tell somebody you can't do something, because anything's possible. We don't even know what's possible for ourselves all the time. Say, I'm concerned about you doing this because of this. Share your personal point of view, but always give them the option. I was just engaged with somebody in a conversation last week, and I was taking on a new task, and I suggested, I'd like to try this. And they said, well, I don't think you should do that because this didn't work before. But I'm not saying you can't do it. So they're telling me from their past experience what had worked for them and for the group that I'm helping. But she wasn't doubting that my ability, that I could possibly do maybe a different result this time. Everybody does things differently. We have a different approach of things, whether it's in a school subject, at work, or in a learning in our life, or again, taking that first step to learn how to walk again. The only person that knows if we can't do something is ourselves after we've tried. So talking with people when you think you're helping by telling them you can't do something doesn't help, because it brings somebody down. If people are told they can't do something over and over again, they're going to start to believe it. You don't want to be one of those naysayers. You want to be those that encourage others. Think about all the times you've been told in your life that you can't do something. I don't have enough fingers to count that on my hands. And it wasn't from my parents, except for when I was a little guy. It was more from people as I acquired my disability later in life. It was people telling me based on their own personal beliefs. And those personal beliefs started to rub off on me and making me doubt myself. Maybe they're right. So then I'm not just one step back, but 10 steps back, because I have to build up my confidence again, or have to learn to tune them out, because we're always going to have naysayers in our lives. And again, we have to look at their reason. What are the reasons for them saying these things? Are they saying it to bring us down? Are they saying it because they think they're helping? Or are they trying to hurt us? So there's so many pieces to this puzzle. The most important thing is, I like to say, is I like to go on the philosophy, nobody told me I couldn't do it. Even if they had, I always say nobody told me I couldn't do it. Because the only person that believes in me the most is me. And if I don't believe in myself, then we have a problem. The great thing about all the people that have told me I couldn't do something, I've been able to prove them wrong. To this day, I have people doubting me and thinking that things aren't possible. But it just gives me more ammunition and fuel to the fire to prove them wrong. What are people telling you can't do in your life? Is it from a place of love and fear for them? Is it a valid point? Have you taken time to consider why they're saying it? And how does it make you feel? Does it make you react like I do to prove them wrong? You fight harder? Or does it bring you down? Don't let it bring it down. Let it kick you in the butt to do better and to try harder, so that next time you can prove them wrong. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like and share, and I'll catch you next time. See ya.